Athletes are very often seen as role models due to their dedication and commitment to their sport, but there are some that have an added challenge to overcome. Despite these challenges, they push through and conquer them, proving there is always hope. Here are 10 athletes with mental disorders. SCHMITT. SCHMITT is a competitive swimmer specializing in freestyle events. She began her Olympic career in the 2008 Beijing Summer Games, where she won a bronze. Her athletic career continued at the 2012 London Summer Games, where she took home 5 more medals, 3 of which were gold. Following her success at the London Games, she became overwhelmed by the attention she was receiving and began to feel anxious and depressed. These feelings began to affect her swimming results, which caused the depression to worsen. After speaking with fellow swimmer Michael Phelps and her coach Bob Bowman, SCHMITT began secretly seeing a therapist. It was after the suicide of her cousin that she divulged her feelings to her family and made her struggle known publicly. Now when she returns to her hometown of Canton, Michigan, she visits the swim clubs to encourage them and speak to them about her battle. Brandon Marshall. American football player Brandon Marshall, currently of the NFL's New York Jets, is best known for his ability to break and dodge tackles. He was drafted by the Denver Broncos out of college in 2006 and has played for the Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears as well. Though he had a successful career, he felt that something was off. In 2011, he announced that he'd been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and began seeking treatment shortly afterwards. In October 2013, during Mental Illness Awareness Week, he wore bright green Nike cleats to show his support and donated the $5,250 fine he received from the NFL to charity. SILKEN LAUMANN. Canadian rower SILKEN LAUMANN of Toronto, Ontario, began her career in 1976. As her career progressed, she suffered a devastating injury while training for the 1992 Summer Games. Despite 5 operations and nearly 3 weeks in the hospital to repair the damaged muscle in her leg, she managed to recover just enough to earn a bronze medal at the Games before taking a year off to heal entirely. It was then that she admitted that she suffered from depression and anxiety and took antidepressants daily. She has said that her husband has been one of her biggest supporters. While he was concerned and confused when she first admitted to her disorder, he has since learned that there's more than just the stigma and has become an advocate for mental health alongside his wife. MARDY Fish. American tennis player MARDY Fish has won a silver medal at the 2004 Summer Olympics and seen the world as he's traveled for matches. He worked his way into the top 10 players, ranking at number 8. Then he began to feel like he wasn't good enough, that he couldn't live up to the expectations despite winning all of his matches. He was able to keep his anxiety at bay while playing, but during the 2012 US Open, he experienced a panic attack while playing against Gilles Simon. Although he won the match, 2 days later he experienced another attack while on the way to his next match. It was so bad that he forfeited. He was diagnosed with a severe anxiety disorder and left tennis for over 3 years while he underwent treatment. He is now an advocate for mental health and is slowly returning to his career. Hope Solo. 2-time Olympic gold medalist and American soccer goalkeeper, Hope Solo has made headlines since the 2011 FIFA Women's World Cup and her stint on Dancing with the Stars. In 2007, she suffered an all-time low when she was benched during the World Cup against Brazil, as she just lost her best friend and her father in that same year. Even though she continued to play soccer, her battle with depression raged on until 2015, when her husband was arrested for a DUI while driving the Team USA van. Solo was suspended from the team for 30 days as well. While away, Solo admitted to trying Eastern medicine and began seeing a therapist to help her with her anger and depression. She wrote a blog as a part of her therapy, apologizing to her teammates for her behavior and expressing her desire to conquer her depression and stand alongside her team as they compete in their next match. Victoria Pendleton. Representing Great Britain and England, British cyclist Victoria Pendleton won a silver and a gold medal during the London 2012 Summer Games. While she appeared confident on the outside, inside she was filled with dread, fear of failure, and a pressure to succeed. From the beginning of her cycling career when she was 15 years old, Pendleton described feeling anxious and experienced self-loathing even when she was doing well. The first time she self-harmed was shortly after making the British cycling squad, when she used a Swiss Army knife to cut her arms. She said the soothing numbness helped her deal with the stress. Pendleton retired from the competitive cycling scene in 2012 following the London Games, but still rides as a hobby as she finds cycling to be relaxing and a form of antidepressant for her. She is now a cycling ambassador for Halfords, speaking in front of hundreds of delegates. Charles Haley. American football player Charles Haley boasts 5 Super Bowl championships under his belt and has a reputation as one of the fiercest pass rushers in the game. However, during his career, Haley suffered silently to avoid the stigma of mental illness. When he was with the San Francisco 49ers, his teammates and coaches said he was difficult to get along with and traded him to the Dallas Cowboys. While his new teammates, friends, and family tried to reason with him, he ignored them and denied any issues. It wasn't until 2015 that Haley finally admitted to himself that his dramatic mood swings were hurting everyone around him, and he sought help. He was then diagnosed with bipolar disorder and underwent therapy to help manage it. With a healthy amount of resolve and medication, Haley now speaks out about mental illness in organized sports and how he wishes to help erase the stereotypes and negative interpretations. Amanda Beard. After winning 2 silver and 1 gold medal in the 1996 Atlanta Summer Olympics, American swimmer Amanda Beard was on top of the world. But when puberty set in at 14 and she experienced a growth spurt, she began to fear for her career. She began drinking in high school and suffered from bulimia. By the time the 2004 Athens Olympics rolled around, she was also self-harming to help escape from her fears. She experimented with drugs and volatile relationships until 2007 when she met photographer Sacha Brown. After the two moved in together, Brown confronted her about her issues and urged her to seek help. She began seeing a therapist following the confrontation and began to improve. Beard now speaks out in her autobiography and hopes to inspire others dealing with mental illness. DeLonte West. DeLonte West was an American NBA basketball player for the Celtics, Supersonics, Cavaliers, and Mavericks over the span of his career. He began playing basketball in high school and continued in college before being signed on to the Boston Celtics in 2004. Through his career, people speculated that he suffered from mental illness, but he always dismissed the rumors, saying it wasn't true. However, in 2009, he was arrested for weapons possession after being pulled over for a traffic violation and was ordered to undergo a psychiatric evaluation. He was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and was provided with counseling. While he struggled with the diagnosis for a time, he has since come to terms with it. Elizabeth Manley. Former Canadian Olympic figure skater Elizabeth Manley may have retired from the sport, but she boasts a silver medal from the 1988 Winter Olympic Games along with several other titles. While it wasn't all sparkling sequins and glamour, Manley did become the first Canadian female to land the very tricky triple-double combination jump during a competition. As a teenager, she went to New York to train, but the conditions were horrible and the stress caused her to develop alopecia and depression. Upon hearing her story years later, an Ottawa psychologist offered to help her get the treatment she needed. She didn't take any medication, she just needed to talk to someone. By the time the Calgary Olympics came around, reporters were writing about how her mental illness would cause her to lose, and Manley decided that she was going to prove them wrong, and boy did she ever. She now heads a charity supporting mental health issues and frequently speaks with young athletes. Thanks for watching this video, folks. While you're here, why don't you check out these other awesome videos and subscribe to The Richest for more cool content all the time. And hey, you're really good at being you. Thanks.